Hello, and welcome back to Healing and Wellness in Times of Crisis. My name is Charlotte Jones, and I am the resident mental health expert with the Dr. Maya Angelou Foundation. Today, we're going to be discussing the body and mind connection. We felt this was an important topic to dive into because movement can be a useful tool to promote emotional, cognitive, and social wellness. Today, we will be talking with Bria Campbell, a mental health clinician practicing in Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Bria. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about who you are and what brought you to dance movement therapy?
Yes. So my name is Bria Campbell. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, but I'm practicing now in Atlanta, Georgia. I started my studies at North Carolina A&T State University with my BA in psychology, Aggie Pride. And then I got my master's at Columbia College in Chicago in dance movement therapy and counseling. Since then, I have worked with adolescents and children in the school based programs, using dance movement therapy and school based work to serve the populations that I work with. What brought me to DMT? Well, initially I was in nursing and in undergrad, and I had a big history of dance in my past, and I always was curious about how dance and kind of health or nursing could combine together. And so, through a program I was in called Target Hope in Chicago, I went on a college tour at a graduate conference. And I simply asked, like, what is a career that combines these two skills together? And they were like dance movement therapy. So I found it in 2013, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't necessarily know at the time that it was mental health related, but as I grew through the program, I really felt settled, and I felt like, this is my calling. This is where I need to be.
I think similarly to you, I hadn't really heard of dance movement therapy practices until I met you. And so I'm just curious if you could kind of talk to the audience. So can you tell us a little bit about what dance movement therapy actually is?
Yeah, definitely. So I always tell people that it's an experience. It's one thing that you kind of have to experience for yourself to really gain meaning. But just in simpler terms, it's a body based modality combined with psychotherapy to really help alter behaviors, promote healing and change, and really deep digging into our bodies and our unconscious material that is in our bodies and bringing it to consciousness to promote that healing and change.
Well, that sounds like something we all could use right now. um, so, who would you say can benefit the most from DMT practices?
Anybody, from babies to parent relationships, couples, children, adolescents, adults, different populations such as substance abuse, geriatrics, anybody can benefit.
Mm-hmm. And I hear you saying anyone, even babies, can benefit from this, right? So, how exactly can dance and movement impact our lives in positive ways?
Well, when you think about dance and movement, the first and most simple movement is our breath, right? When we're born into the world, Dr. Spank says the first thing we expel is a loud cry and our breath, right? So, in that connection to the simplest form, it's needed, right? It's essential. And so, movement is essential to sustain. Breathing is essential. Walking is essential. And that connection between humans in a movement way is it's just essential. We need it.
Right. And when we talk about dance movement therapy, I often think a lot about the Black culture and how influential things like art and specifically dance have been to kind of us finding our way back to each other. So, how would you say dance movement therapy can really impact Black culture?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely one thing that you said was Black dance, right? And if we think very, back into African culture, dance was about celebration and healing and rituals and community and all of those things. And I think the nuances of Black dance transfers over to dance movement therapy. It is about having a ritual. It is about being in community and gathering and healing and celebrating. It's about all of those things. So they really overlap, to be honest. So it just makes sense that using dance movement therapy with Black people in culture would lay well together and be a great way to connect Black people.
Right, that sounds beautiful. Is there a way we can practice this at home without an expert?
Definitely. So, one big thing about dance movement therapy is the aspect of mindfulness. We talk about mindfulness a lot, right? And that's really about being in the present moment, being very aware of what's going on in the here and the now, right? And so, when we think about dance movement therapy and as it relates to our bodies, we're checking in with our bodies kind of on a daily basis, moment by moment, being present. So, one thing that we can do, and you don't have to be a dance movement therapist to do, is a body scan. And so that's really getting in a comfortable position, really starting with your breath and just kind of taking deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and really centering and just going through each body part and saying, okay, how is my head feeling today? Noticing what's happening, right? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is there tension? And you're just working your way down your body to your shoulders. What do I feel? Do I need to move them? Do I need to rub it, right? Like what's going on there? Then go into your chest and then to your stomach, hips, thighs, knees, legs, ankles, feet, and really just taking a second to check in and have a little chat with each part of your body to really see like, hey, what's going on with you today? What do you need today, right? And so when we incorporate those mindfulness aspects, we're able to really pay attention to our bodies, right? So when I think of children who may have anger issues, if we're teaching mindfulness practices and, dance movement therapy is involved, that child will be able to realize sensations that are happening in their body to give them that cue like, hey, I'm getting angry, I'm getting triggered. Let me use my coping skills because I know I'm getting upset because the back of my neck is high. And I would only know that because I'm checking it with my body on a regular basis to know when there's a shift in my body. So that's something simple that you can do, as well as kind of using that same body scan, but doing a body part warm up. And that's really kind of doing the same thing, but moving each piece of your body. So I'm going to start with the neck and how many ways I can move my head and my neck. And I'm taking my time and not rushing through each part, just giving each part of my body some love.
Do you mind showing us a dance movement practice that we can do at home like, right now in the moment?
Sure. All right, so I'm gonna invite you to plant your feet firmly on the floor, really feeling your feet connected, making sure that your spine is tall, you're in a comfortable position. And we're just gonna start with our breath. We're gonna inhale through our nose and exhale with the mouth. We're gonna do a couple of those deep breaths. And as you're already starting to do, if you want to close your eyes or have a soft gaze, whatever that looks like, just continuing to focus on the breath. And what I want to invite you to do is we're going to take a scan of our bodies, starting with the head. And I want to invite you to move the head in any way that is comforting to you. Noticing if there's any tension in the head and in the neck area. And just really seeing all the ways that you can move your head and your neck, noticing the thoughts that are coming into mind, noticing what images are coming up, noticing if any memories are happening, any feelings are happening right now. And I just want you to focus on the neck and the head, really giving that attention, that release, moving it in all ways, and not forgetting about our breath. Yeah. And then I'm gonna slowly bring you back into the space because this is a quick time, not a long time. You can open your eyes. So essentially what you would do, you would kind of do that and how we kind of stuck on that intentional attention on your head and neck. You would do that for each part of your body, moving it all the way down. So ideally you can do this in like 10 minutes and do a nice little body part warm up to really get you moving and grooving for your day.
That's fantastic. I already feel looser, okay, and
Yeah.
calmer. That was nice. That was definitely nice.
Awesome.
So before you get out of here, I just want to know, how can we find you, and where can we find more about anything you've written or any work you've done in the Atlanta area or beyond?
Perfect. So you guys can follow me on Instagram at B_Alexis ALEXIS 93. That's my personal Instagram. I have written an article. It is published in the American Dance Therapy Journal. Well, I'll drop the link below so you can go and check that out. But pretty much it's in regards to dance movement therapy and a theory called post-traumatic slave syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. And basically, I created a program development using dance movement therapy approaches coupled with DeGruy's healing building blocks that she mentions to kind of build on and heal from post-traumatic slave syndrome, which is a part of intergenerational trauma. I'm also a co-leader of the Black Dance Movement Therapy Affinity Group. It's called Black Magic. We are also on Instagram. I believe our Instagram is at Black Magic DMT. So you can follow us there to see what we're doing as Black Dance Movement Therapists. And yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Well, I will definitely be reading up on that article. So thank you so much for your time today, and have a good one.
Thanks. You too.
Today in our conversation with Miss Bria Campbell, we discussed how movement can help relieve emotional stress, and we learned a little bit more about dance movement therapy practices. Thank you for joining us, and see you next week.